Hi everybody, it's your girl Chanel with Girltalk Tarot. Welcome to my channel, you guys. More importantly, welcome to your reading. So this is quite a significant reading, you guys. In this reading, we're going to take a deep dive into your childhood. And even the word childhood may bring about certain emotions, different emotions for all of you. Some good, some bad, some more good than others, and some more bad than others. But our childhood is very necessary. The experiences that we have in our childhood are very necessary for the development of our spiritual growth. So we're just going to take a look here, you guys, to see what some of those experiences were, what they meant to you, and how you can heal from them. Okay, we have 4 groups. We have group 1 on the far left, group 2, group 3, and group 4. So you guys, I'll go ahead and be quiet now to allow you to pick your pile in peace. Okay, you guys, I do hope that was enough time. If it wasn't, don't worry about it. Go ahead and pause the video. Take as much time as you need. And yeah, catch the timestamp down below. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Be blessed. Ciao. Hi, group 1. Welcome to your reading. Okay, you guys, I don't want to waste your time. You're here for a very specific reason, and that's to take a deep dive here into your childhood, to reflect back on your childhood, you guys, and just kind of see here what potentially needs to be healed in your life so that you can move forward. So let's go ahead and take a look here and see what your past looked like for you guys. You guys, please keep in mind this is a general reading, so not everything you see here will resonate. You know, you guys are different, and you all had different childhoods. So we're just going to see here what the dominant energy is coming through here, to see what kind of energy is here that still lives in your past and even in your present, you know what I mean? So let's take a look here and see. We have the Lovers, the Rider, Clouds, the Anchor, and the Home. Okay, so group 1, I can see that as far as your household is concerned, it was quite a structured and stable household. You know, it looks like there was a lot of stability here as far as the actual structure is concerned. I do see that there was love in your household here, whether this was between your parents or your siblings, but this feels more like an intimate love that you saw here between your parents. Maybe you did see some affection with your parents here. Some of you had a traumatic experience catching your parents making love. We have some clouds showing up here in this household, so there could have been some things that were hidden from you, you guys. I feel like this group, you may have been sheltered here a little bit. Let's take a look at some of the emotions that you experienced as a child. We have encouraged, proud, exhausted, loving, afraid, and confident. Wow, group 1. So your feelings are really, really good. You know, it looks like your childhood, you had predominantly positive feelings and emotions that you carried with you. It looks like you felt very loved and very supported here by your mother, maybe by your father, but there's maybe by both of your parents, you guys. But there was this sense of being well taken care of. You felt encouraged growing up here. You felt like there wasn't anything that you couldn't do. Some of you may have been quite active children here, involved in sports. I see a lot of that happening here. There is this feeling of being proud of yourself for some of the accomplishments that you achieved. I feel like this group, a lot of you did quite well in school or in sports. We do have exhausted here, so some of you were perhaps a little bit overworked by your parents, perhaps with chores or just homework. But there was this feeling of just being a little bit drained, fatigued. But for the most part, you guys, these are really positive emotions. We do have some fear here. Some of you may have dealt with really scary nightmares as a child. There was a lot of fear of the unknown, of the world around you, because I feel like you were very much so comforted in your household, but then outside of your household was a little bit scary. We have vanity coming through and faith. So you guys had a strong faith growing up. Religion was quite important for you guys. You probably went to church every Sunday, Bible study, Sunday school, you know what I mean? Or just your parents probably instilled a strong faith in you. You grew up very religious here. I see someone in your environment here, group 1, who liked to be the center of attention. This could be one of your parents. This could be a sibling of yours. This may have even been you, group 1. Some of you may have been an only child and you were able to receive a lot of attention from your parents. There's like attention here. What else do we see in your childhood? We have thank you, next chapter, followed by double, followed by midlife crisis, and we have solo YOLO. Very interesting. So yeah, I feel like a lot of you in this group were the only child, and if you weren't the only child, then you probably felt like the favorite child or something like that. There was just this sense of the attention being on you, group 1. For a lot of you guys, I see that, well, some of you guys in this group may even be twins. Some of you may have had to live a double life here of some type, like maybe you lived with your parents, or I mean like with your mother, you know, for the majority of the time, and then with your father during the summers. It just feels like a lot of support, group 1. Feels like as you got older, something started to change. It's quite possible that there was a split or a divorce with your parents for some of you guys. Let's take a look here. We have the 5 of Wands, the 9 of Swords, the Fool, the Queen of Wands, the 4 of Swords, the 7 of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Page of Swords. So obviously not everything was peaches and cream. It's not like that for anybody. So I do see that there was some conflict in the household here. And this conflict was something that brought you a lot of anxiety, Group 1. This feels like an outsider. Could be someone that one of your parents dated, like a step parent. But mainly, I see a very strong feminine presence here. So it feels like for this group, it feels like your mother really took care of you. Excuse me. It feels like your mother was the one to really take care of you. But because I see that strongly here, I see the two of you guys here. Looks like you guys, some of you dealt with this feeling of being trapped. So even though there was this sense of care in the household, it's like there was a little bit of restriction here. So you felt like you couldn't really go out and explore the world, like you couldn't really go do the things you really wanted to do. Maybe all of your friends were going to the movies and you couldn't, or there were just certain things that you weren't allowed to do. So there could have been some, strict rules here in the household. There was something here that you felt a little bit powerless about, Group 1. Like there was a lack of control. There was something you couldn't control. And it could have to do with your mother here and the decisions that she was making. But yeah, for the most part, you guys, aside from this conflict that I see, it mostly looks like a pretty innocent childhood. Some of you feel like your mother dealt with a lot of knuckleheads, people coming in and out of her life. There could have been one person here who you viewed as a clown, like not somebody that you took seriously. And you could have really clashed with that person. Let's take a look at some of the archetypes that existed here. We have the Queen showing up here. That's your mother. We have the Martyr. We have the Mystic. The Visionary. The Pioneer. And the Addict. All right, Group 1. So it looks like you guys may have been exposed to some addictive behaviors in this household. Perhaps your mother was an addict of some kind, or your father was an addict. But you were exposed to some addictions, maybe gambling addictions, smoking, drugs, alcohol. I see alcohol addiction showing up here quite strongly. But for the most part, you guys, the people in your life were good people. The people in your childhood here. Between the pioneer, the visionary, the mystic, and the martyr. So there is this sense of victimhood, you guys. So some of you may, in fact, have been exposed to some level of abuse here. But it feels more like you were a victim of your circumstances because you had no control over them, if that makes sense. Imagination showing up here. Focus. Wow, how beautiful. So some of you grew up with ADD or ADHD, and you had a really hard time with focusing, you guys. You probably bounced around a lot, or your mind was just extremely overactive. Because I see you showing up here as quite an intelligent kid. You were the type of kid to ask a lot of questions. A lot of questions that most people couldn't give you good answers for. Because you do have a big imagination. And it could have been challenging to really delve into your imagination, group one, because there was so much religious focus in your life where you're taught to believe and think certain things, but you really wanted to think for yourself. That was very important for you to come up with your own answers that made sense for you. We have decrease, the sacred temple, the sacral chakra, the man holding a heart, and the heart chakra. Wow, group one. So like I said, you had a really good childhood, you guys. You had a really, really good childhood. I see you're like surrounded by love. This is a masculine energy coming through here. So I do feel kind of like a distance here from your father, but I feel like there was still a good relationship that you have with your father, or that you had with your father. So it feels like there was a lot of care here. The main thing that's showing up here that looked like an issue was the Eight of Swords and Nine of Swords energy, which is, for some of you, unfortunately, some level of abuse. And for others of you, this is more of a, and this abuse can be verbal abuse or physical abuse, but it doesn't feel that way for the majority of you guys. It mostly just feels like a victim here of your circumstances, like things that you couldn't control, things that your parents were doing and up to, and it somehow affected you. So what we're going to do now, you guys, is take a look here and see what needs to be healed. We'll do these first. We'll see what it is that Spirit wants you to surrender at this time. Okay, so right now you're being asked to surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So you guys are being asked to open up a little bit and to just kind of let go to what's happening in your life. Even if it's currently scaring you. But yeah, you guys, what I'm seeing here is that certain things that happened, and this is for everyone really, you know, the things that happen in your childhood really shape who you are. And as it shapes who you are, it shapes where you're going in life. See if there's anything else here that Spirit wants you to. You're also being asked to surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. So this is playing out. You had dealt with anxiety and fear as a child, group 1, and you're dealing with anxiety and fear as an adult, because both of these messages are about letting go, not being afraid of divine timing, of what's happening, even though you can't really see it. You know what I mean? So we saw that here. It's like the moment you feel like you don't have control of a situation, group 1, that's when the fear and anxiety kicks in. So it's really important for you to be in control, but you're actually being asked to let go of the need to control and to just kind of let things flow and let things be. You're on the right track. You're just kind of pushing a little bit. And let's see what needs to be healed here with you. Group 1, what needs healing with group 1? What needs healing here with group 1? Okay. Oh, you guys have 2. So you have courage and, oh, how teachable are you? All right. So let's take a listen to your message, group 1. I'll be reading this message from the Heal Yourself guidebook by Tina Siegel. Courage. Courage requires you to fearlessly stride ahead despite the challenges you are experiencing. Whether you are afraid of success or failure, you cannot stay where you are. You need to make a decision and move forward with belief, trust, and boldness. Give it your all no matter the outcome. Despite what you've been telling yourself, you are ready for a new adventure and another chance to prove that you have what it takes to face life's challenges. Stop investing your time in limitations, lack, and dysfunction. Every blessing has a challenge, and every challenge contains a blessing. You are ready to explore both. Whilst there may be difficult moments ahead, keep positive and believe that everything is going to work out for your absolute best. You are being asked to gather the courage to be who you truly are and to stand strong for your convictions. All right, let's see here. There's a specific action that you can take, group 1. In order for you to succeed in what you desire, you need to prepare for the challenges ahead. Make a list of the support you need to tackle the approaching opportunities. Become aware of what or who you are afraid of. Imagine that this fear takes on the shape of a person. What does he or she look like? Look this fear in the eyes, tell it what you are willing to learn from it, and master the lesson, but you are not willing to be a slave to it. Imagine loving your fear and taking steps forward. So you guys, it's all about fear, okay? And you've had this as a child and is carrying into your adult life as well. So right now you're actually just being asked to tackle your fear, to confront your fear. Your next message is, how teachable are you? How teachable are you? Are you open to learning new things in your life? How high is your desire to let go of judgment, doubt, negativity, and self-sabotage? What are some of your favorite things to do? Is it to watch TV, go shopping, play golf, drink, gossip with your friends? Are you willing to give those things up in order to create time to learn something new? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? What is your willingness to really apply what you learn? You might be learning many new things, but be resistant to change. Every time you begin to think, quote, I already know this, I've heard it before, this doesn't apply to me, end quote, your ability to learn diminishes enormously, and it's at this point you may become virtually unteachable without realizing it. Unless you apply what you have learned in your life, you won't really know it. This card is beckoning you to not only be open-minded, but to take specific action towards change. So, group 1, in order to create change, you need to start with something small, like the way you pour your tea. Eventually, you will change your habit. This builds confidence as you start working towards the big changes you need to make. Here's your action. In the next 48 hours, take a step forward towards changing some area of your life. This could be something small, like buying a journal to write your dreams in, or talking to someone about your transformation. Then, every day, do something, even if it takes only a couple of minutes, towards creating positive transformation in your life. Another thing you can do is ask yourself many times during the day, am I teachable right now, or do I think that I know better? People who are the most teachable experience the most success in their life. So, group 1, you're being asked to release some of your stubbornness and to be a student, to be completely open to learning something new, and to be completely courageous to conquering your fears and going after what it is you really want in life. So, and you learned this as a child because we have the martyr. You saw a martyr, which means as a child, you saw someone in your life here who, was, kind of stayed here in this victim mentality. Now, some of you experienced actual victimhood where something, negative happened. But for the majority of you, this was self-pity. This was being a victim of your mind here. And you saw that as a child. For some of you, and your mother taught you that. So this is just one of those lessons that, you started learning as a child and you're still learning now. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. I hope that this resonated, and I hope that you guys really abide by the instructions here for your healing. I love you so much. If you enjoyed the reading, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help my channel to grow. And if you guys are new here, consider subscribing. I post new pick a card readings every single week, and I post new energetic zodiac readings every month. Also, if you're interested, you can take a look on my website and you can book a private reading. Go to www.girltalktarot.com and you can book on my website. I love you guys. Be blessed. And I'll talk to you in a different video. Ciao. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. So you guys are here to understand your childhood, to take a look back into your childhood, and to see how certain things from your childhood may be affecting you today. So you guys, keep in mind, this is a general reading. Not everything I say, not everything you see will resonate with you. And I just ask you to use your own discernment to take what resonates and leave behind anything that doesn't. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. For group 2's childhood, what do we see here? Okay, we have a thief, journey, courthouse, house, the labyrinth, snake, a fox, the tower, the birds, and the ship. All right, so my dear group 2, I see here that in your childhood, you maybe didn't experience, how do I say? There maybe was a lot of change in your childhood, like a lot of relocation. Either that or one big significant move. There was somewhere that you needed to go as a child. You needed to leave one home and go to a different home. Now, for some of you, that could be because your parents were divorced and you needed to split your time between one parent and the other parent. And for others of you, it's because you just needed to move or relocate. So what I do see here, group 2, is some of you dealt with some legal matters as a child. As in you were I feel like you were kind of in the middle of a nasty situation. It feels like there could have been like some custody battles over you between your parents. So far, it doesn't feel like a very loving environment. It looks like there was somebody here who was a little bit nasty. You were exposed to deceit. You were exposed to sneakiness, manipulation, group 2. Okay, so there is a person here in your life, someone quite significant. Could be a biological parent, could be a step parent. But there is someone here. I feel like you didn't like this person because they didn't represent anything positive. It feels like you felt quite alone in your house, group 2. And we have a thief here. So group 2, some of you experienced an actual thief in your home. Someone stealing from your mother or your father or your grandparents or from you. Some of you may have had a parent here who had an addiction to drugs or alcohol. Others of you may have had to be a thief in order to, get what you needed in life. I feel like this group, you kind of had to grow up fast. You had to find your own way because there was no real guidance to show you like what to do in life, how to do it. Let's take a look at some of the emotions that you experienced here. We have inspired, respectful, empowered, resistant, and longing. All right, group 2, I feel like you guys were taken away from your parents and you were forced in a situation that you didn't really want to be in. And it feels like there was a lack of care for you. It feels like there was someone and something else that you were longing for. It feels like you didn't want to be where you were, where you grew up, because you didn't trust these people who you were around. And a lot of you guys in this group may have grown up, like I said, a little bit isolated, a little bit rebellious. A lot of you had to just completely delve into your creative outlet. For some of you, it's music. Others of you, it's writing. But there was something here that you had to do to take your attention away from what was happening in your immediate environment. I felt like you lived far away from someone significant in your life. And then also just with this globe here, it's like, yeah, some of you had to make it like a long-term move. Some of you, perhaps your parents had to travel a lot for work. Could even be for military reasons for some of you. We have joy, grief, perfection, wisdom, and rejection. So this group, you battled with this. I feel like your parents, I feel like you were raised by someone else. It feels like your grandparents, you guys, but it could be, you know, an auntie or an uncle or someone not even part of your biological family. But it feels like you dealt with feelings of rejection from your mother, from your father, and you felt kind of isolated here. It wasn't all sadness, you guys. It was joy and pain. Okay, because I feel like a lot of you found joy in yourself, in your creativity, in your own outlet, whatever that was for you. Some of you were able to establish some kind of a balance between the joy and the pain. But this is like a deep sorrow here. And yeah, with wisdom, you guys, I just feel like you guys had to grow up almost on your own. Some of you never knew who your parents were, your biological parents, and you always had the desire to look for them, to know who they were, and to ask why they left you or why they didn't take care of you. Some of you, your parents passed away before you really got a chance to get to know them. And that could be why this thief is showing up here as well. It's like you felt like someone or something took something away from you. We also have the Two of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Sun, and the Ace of Wands. Wow, there's a lot of fire here. So group 2, I feel like there was a lot of anger actually that you were working through as a child. A lot of anger because of this battle. Whatever this battle and this conflict is for you guys, it'll be different for all of you, but there was some conflict here, something that was like tearing apart your family, tearing apart the time that you have to spend with someone, making it difficult for you to be able to be happy. Some of you, I see there's a very close bond with a brother or a sister. I see you guys had to really bond over the struggles that you had as a child. But I feel really strongly that this group, you had to really channel this anger and you had to transmute it into creativity. So you may write about a lot of your experiences as a child. You may, you know, find other creative outlets, other ways to channel this energy. But we're seeing this theme of distance. We're seeing this theme of, you know, wanting, longing, missing somebody here. And we're seeing the globe again. We have spotlight, co-parenting. Yeah. The club and bar. And victory is mine. Yeah, so this group, you really, in your childhood, you have a really strong, or you had a really strong dream of being in the spotlight somehow, of, you know, being successful and getting the attention that you've always wanted. because as a child, you didn't feel like you really got that nurturing attention in the household. So there is a strong desire here as a child to overcome this, to be victorious in whatever career that you chose. And for a lot of you, this career would require you, being known by the world, or just by people, being known, being seen, being heard. I feel like this was a dream of yours as a child. I do see the co-parenting here. So yeah, for a lot of you, there was like this back and forth that you had to go back and forth, between your mother or your father. It's like somebody raised you, somebody did what they had to do to raise you as a child. Because the energy of co-parenting is doing what you have to do despite the, not so ideal circumstances. So it's like that's what happened for you. Things needed to be done that were not ideal, but could still, raise you up in this world. And we have the club and bar, and I'm just seeing empty space. Some of you lived in a really small building, in a really small home or apartment as a child. It feels very claustrophobic. It feels like you probably spent as little time at home as possible. Let's take a look at some of the archetypes that showed up in your life as a child. We have the magical child. We have the fool. The avenger. The storyteller. The mediator. And the rescuer. Wow. So, group 2, I feel very strongly that a lot of you probably had to grow up in the system. It feels like you guys were probably taken away from your parents. You were taken away from your home. And a lot of you may have even grown up in a group home, an orphanage. It feels like there was a mediator here, somebody here to kind of direct. Same thing with this 5 of Wands, to kind of direct your life. And a rescuer. So someone had to come and save you, group 2. This person will be different for each of you, but yeah, there is someone here to rescue you. We have storyteller. This feels like a grandma that I'm seeing. I see that a lot of you were raised by your grandma or your granddad. I'm also seeing here that this is part of your own archetype, group 2, and that you are a storyteller. I definitely see a lot of creative artists here, a lot of musicians, writers, singers, dancers, really creative people in this group. And there's just, the Avenger is here as well, you guys. So there was someone here who had to take care of you because it was the right thing to do. But it definitely doesn't feel like you were brought up with your biological family. And if you were, then you still felt that sense of distance. Some of you were raised by someone who wasn't, who really had no business raising you. Or they they were quite immature, didn't have it all together. It was really difficult. We have power, the vast universe, the status quo, walking away, third chakra, and indecision. Yeah, you guys, so this is, some of you had to actually make a choice of who you want to live with. You know, like maybe your mother couldn't take care of you and you had to choose. Some of you were forced in a very difficult position as a child, and you had to make this really hard decision. You know, who to live with. And I see that you experienced either walking away from someone significant in your life, or you experienced someone leaving you and walking away out of your life. And so because of this sense of abandonment, group 2, you dealt with power issues, maybe control issues here, because you couldn't find control in your own upbringing. So you may have tried to find this in other ways. You may see this play out even in your life today, group 2, that if you're not in a powerful position, the moment you don't have any power, the moment you feel powerless, it's incredibly uncomfortable for you. Yeah, and you guys, with this image here, I see like small apartment style homes. Some of you may have been raised in the projects. So with that being said, even though you had a tough childhood, it looks like your career is so important to you. So I'm sure even to this day, you guys are really focused on your career and finances so that you could have a different story and so that you can provide your children a different childhood. So with that being said, group 2, we're going to take a look here and see, we're going to do some self-healing, okay? We're going to see what it is that your spirit wants you to release at this time. What is it that your spirit wants you to release at this time? Beautiful, group 2. Spirit, what needs to be released? Oop. All right. Wow, it's a lot. It's not a lot, it's okay. Let's take a look here. All right, Spirit wants you to surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So that's really interesting, group 2, because I feel like that goes back to your childhood with this energy here. And it's really difficult for you guys to accept things the way that they are. It's like you know the truth, you see the truth, but you refuse to acknowledge it. You would rather pretend. And so that's because you had a harsh childhood. And you try to find joy in everything you do. You try to see the light, but sometimes if you're surrounded by darkness and by someone or something that's not a good situation, Spirit is asking you to remove the blindfold and to see people and situations exactly as they are. Surrender to passion, group 2. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So group 2, some of you gave up on your dream. There was something here that you really wanted to achieve, and you tried, and you tried, and you tried. And you perceive your failures as failures, but it's not. So you're being asked right now to let go of any resentment, anything that didn't work out in the past, and to pick back up your art. Whatever it is that lights you up. Get out of that office job if you hate it, group 2. Surrender to setting limits. It's healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. So you guys are being encouraged to say no more. Maybe some of you, are in an abusive relationship or situation right now in your life. Because of feeling like, when you go through abandonment as a child, it really does have an impact on your adulthood because you feel like you're not worthy. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like someone else is, going to walk out of your life. So there's this constant fear of people exiting out of your life. And so because of that fear, you may put up with things that you really shouldn't put up with. And so group 2, as for your healing, you're being asked to set limits, set boundaries, tell people no. You can't talk to me that way. You can't treat me that way. I deserve better. I deserve more. Some of you may experience this energy as a people-pleasing thing, yeah? And you just want to, that's that denial energy too. You just want everything to be okay. You want everything to be good when sometimes it's not. And you're being asked to surrender the denial and to say no. If there's something you don't want to do, it's okay to say no without having to come up with an excuse. Also, surrender to rest and sleep. So group 2, to prevent burnout, slow down. Honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. So you guys are being asked to relax, rest a little bit. Some of you have been working too hard, like overworking yourself, exhausting yourself. And those of you who are doing that, you need to rest. Now, we're going to pull one more card for healing and see what this message is for you, group 2. All right, group 2, what needs to be healed in your life at this time? Thank you. Okay, what do you guys have here? Ooh, the victim consciousness. Wow. Ooh, this one is heavy, you guys. Even just looking at this card, you can see the demons here from your past. It's like, don't be a slave to your past, group 2. But what I'm going to do is read your message. There's some healing in this message, you guys. Victim consciousness. Stop blaming others and take responsibility for what you are creating. It's easy to think that life is unfair and point a finger at others. If you hear yourself saying, life is unfair, bad things always happen to me, I'm not good enough, nobody cares about me, why me, I can't do what I want to do, etc., etc., then you are losing your power, nourishing your victim aspect, and ascertaining your place in the victim club. Your inner victim can stop you from moving forward by creating dramas, making you judge others, telling you that you don't deserve better, and keeping you stuck in a financial rut. You need to build your internal confidence, self-worth, and courage. Get out of your comfort zone and work on expanding and growing in all areas of your life. The light side of the victim archetype is the victorious part, which can help you to hold your power without getting angry and attacking others. It can also assist you to create healthy boundaries and act from a place of honesty, integrity, compassion, and love. Oh my gosh, group 2. And you have this here with you. This is you. Like, you know victory is yours. So anytime you feel yourself slipping into this victim consciousness, slap yourself and say, no, no, no. You need to set boundaries even to yourself. Beautiful. Set boundaries. Say no to this victim consciousness. That's a big one for you guys. Okay, so here's an action plan for you. Visualize your inner victim. Ask to be aware when you are acting like a victim. Then ask your inner victim to show you how you could behave in a more empowered way. How do you need to think, feel, and act to be empowered? On a daily basis, ask yourself, am I acting from an empowered, victorious perspective or a victim perspective? Lovely. So this is your healing right here in these two cards, group 2. This is a challenge. Every day, ask yourself, am I operating in this energy or am I operating in this energy? And you'll know, you can feel it. And the moment you feel you're in this one here, this victim consciousness, think a positive thought about yourself and snap out of it. So, darling group 2, I love you so much. My heart goes out to you, and I hope that you can, take heed to this message here and apply this healing that showed up for you today. This is not from me, you guys. This is from Spirit. This is from you. You actually projected this message onto yourself, onto this screen here, so that you can hear this today. And I just want you to understand the significance and the importance of it, and I want you to really apply it whenever you can. Remember that you are powerful. You do hold the power, and I just want you to treat yourself as such. Those of you currently in an abusive situation, walk away from it. You don't deserve this. I love you guys. I do hope that this reading resonated with you. If it does, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help my channel to grow. And if you guys are new here, thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me. Consider subscribing, you guys. I post new content every week and every month. So with that being said, if you are interested in a private reading, you can book with me on my website, www.girltalktarot.com. And I have a whole bunch of different readings that I offer. Go ahead and take a look, and you can book directly on the website. So love you lots. Be blessed. Take care. Deuces. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. Don't want to waste your time. You're here for a very specific reason, and that's to take a deep dive, a deep look into your childhood, and to see how some of your childhood experiences may be affecting you today. So let's go ahead and dive in. Group 3. We have change, toil and labor. We have the roses. Wow, and the 4-leaf clover. So, first thing I see here, group 3, is that someone in your life here, this could be a parent, but there was someone here who worked really, really, really hard in order to provide for you. It's like this person may have worked 2 or 3 different jobs, late hours, late shift, in order to bring you, in order to put food on the table. It looks like you guys in this group experienced either a big change in your life, like one really major change as a child, and others of you perhaps experienced change on a continuous basis. It's like constantly things were changing. So there could be a little bit of a lack of stability as it pertains to your home. But I do see this sense of beauty. It's like through the hardships, like you were still able to receive love. If that makes sense. Let's take a look at at an emotion that you felt. You guys actually only pulled one card for the emotions. And for that one card to be grief, it's like there was a sense of sadness. Some of you in this group may have lost a parent, your mother or your father, and you actually had to grow up really quickly, and you had to, in fact, almost raise yourself or your siblings at a really young age, 15, something like that. But if not, then there was something here in your childhood that brought you a lot of pain, group 3, a lot of sadness and sorrow. And for some of you, it's because you lost someone, and for others of you, it's because of something else. Let's continue pulling our cards here. So we have acceptance and self-worth. Wow. Okay, so group 3, a lot of you in this group struggled with these two themes here. This was something that you perhaps really wanted. You craved acceptance from somebody here significant in your life. You just wanted them to accept you for who you are. And there was a sadness because you didn't feel like you were being accepted for who you are. And this lack of acceptance caused you to question yourself. It caused you to doubt yourself. Caused you to not really believe in yourself. And to just feel and think a little bit low about yourself, like you're not worthy to sit on this throne here. Some of you had a really hard time accepting the passing of someone in your life, your mother or your father, a sibling. Let's go here first. We have perspective, headaches, seeking mental stimulation, and Rapunzel. Interesting. So some of you in this group felt quite isolated as a child. There's a little bit of coldness coming through. It looks like you guys... I definitely see that some of you experienced a major change here. Almost like your entire life was flipped upside down at some point in your childhood. And I feel like this forced a really big change in yourself, like your personality, but also in your life. Some of you, I see you may have had to relocate. It's like your life was just completely uprooted. Some of you may have dealt with incredible headaches and migraines as a child, like really severe. There could also be some head trauma here for some people here that you had to deal with as a child, or just a lot of stress and anxiety. Feels quite heavy, like there was a lot of pressure on you. For some of you, this is something that you saw. You maybe saw your mom stressing out under a lot of pressure, trying to figure out how to pay the bills, trying to figure out how to feed you guys, you and your siblings. I see you spending a lot of time in your room, reading books. Focusing on... It looks like you really tried to focus on the better... It looks like you were really trying to be optimistic as a child, because circumstances do look a little bit tough. And I do see you spending a lot of time in your room, indoors in the house here. We have the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Swords. Some of you had a really hard time getting any sleep, possibly some nightmares here for some of you as a child, really bad dreams, or just a really hard time sleeping. Some of you heard a lot of arguing at night and that kept you up. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Swords, the World. So what I'm seeing now, you guys, I'm seeing a lot of you in this group may have older siblings. I'm getting a strong older brother vibe, but this could also be an older sister, one or two older sisters, or even more. But there's just this sense that there was, like, it wasn't just you. It feels like it was you and your siblings, and like you may have been the, you may actually, it could go either way. Some of you were the baby brother, the baby sister, and you had to watch someone here take care of you. It doesn't feel like a mother. Like, I'm missing a mother and father presence right now. It feels like the siblings, it feels like you were kind of raised by your older siblings, or like you had to kind of take care of your younger siblings. I see the Nine of Pentacles here. And because she's under this Ace of Wands, I feel like there was a strong desire for financial independence, but it doesn't really feel like that was had. Although for some of you it was. Like, some of you, I see that because someone worked so hard here, you were able to live a life like you didn't really need much. You were able to get pretty much whatever you asked for. For some of you, not for all of you. But some of you, it does look like the finances were in good shape. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and I never turn them over that way, but it did. So the Four of Wands, which is like our home structure here. But because it wanted to come through reversed, it feels like there was a lack of security in the home in some respect. It feels like somebody was always gone, possibly working. It feels like somebody was always gone working. And you were missing something. You were missing more love, more time spent with this person, more compassion. It's like you had what you needed, group 3, but there was something missing. That's what I'm feeling with this group. We have 2 Knights, which shows that there was really somebody here on a mission. It also feels like there was a sense of not belonging. So I feel like a lot of you in this group kind of felt like you didn't really belong. Like you didn't really fit in to your family. It kind of feels like a black sheep for some of you, that you felt like that. Let's take a look at some of the archetypes here. We have the Divine Child, the Mother, the Prostitute, yeah, exactly, the Student, and the Destroyer. All right, so these are the archetypes that you saw as a child, you guys. So you did have a mother. This could be your biological mother. It could be anybody here, but there was someone here who mothered you. There was someone here who took care of you. Whether it was an older sister or brother or your mother, there was definitely someone here who took care of you. The thing was that this person, the reason why the prostitute archetype came through, you guys, is because this person was willing to do whatever it took to make the money. You know what I'm saying? To be the breadwinner is like somebody had to do it. There's no father figure around. Like, I don't see any divine masculine energy coming through. So it kind of all fell on your mother or your big brother or big sister. Or you even. You may be this prostitute here. It could have been you who had to grow up really fast in order to take care of your little brother or sister or yourself. We have the student showing up here. So that showed up here as well, you guys, with this energy. And I feel like this is you. I feel like this is your archetype, group 3. It feels like you had a really strong interest in reading and developing your brain, your mental, your mind. Like, you really care about learning. It feels like you're always a student. And whatever free time you had, I see you spending it working on yourself. Knowledge. You understood the power of knowledge even as a child. So I just see you, doing that. Reading is big for this group. The destroyer, you guys. You have a destroyer in your childhood. So this could be a person or a situation. But there was something here for some of you. There was one really big event that happened that kind of really blew things up in your life. For others of you, this could be a person, someone who was a destroyer, someone who came into your family, someone who came into your life and destroyed everything. So those were interesting archetypes, you guys. Interesting. Let's keep going. We have regret, discipline, indecision, and balance. So these were some of the lessons that you had to learn as a child, group 3. So balance showing up here as a lesson means that things probably weren't so balanced in your life. There probably wasn't a whole lot of harmony. Things were a little bit chaotic at times, and you know, it was possibly hard to feel like things were balanced, to feel like things were stable. It looks like as a child you probably dealt with a lot of back and forth. There could have been someone in your life who had a hard time making a decision about something that affected you. There was a lack of focus. There was a lack of clarity. There was a lack of stability in your childhood. Regret. I feel like as a child, you guys, as a lesson for you, you grew up seeing what regret looks like. And I feel like it's because you had people in your life who made poor decisions. And you may have seen your mother or your father or somebody, well, probably not your father because he's not really showing up here. But I feel like you had to see somebody constantly regret a decision that was made. You know, like, oh, damn, I wish I didn't do that. That was stupid. Something like that. Also, as a lesson, we have discipline, which means that you probably have to learn how to discipline yourself, because there was probably a lack of discipline because the parent was always gone. Not because they didn't love you, but because they had to do what they had to do. So there was a lot of time that you had without really being parented. And I feel like you had to learn what discipline was. It's almost like, I feel like with this group, you had to kind of raise yourself. You had to kind of teach yourself a lot of things here. I definitely see that there was somebody here who cared about you. A lot of you may have a very strong connection with your mother, or whoever this archetype is in your life. But there's also some distance, you know what I mean? So we have creation coming through. Yeah. Taking steps. Discovery. Hostilities. Strategy. The thinking woman. Broken heart. Ooh. An angel of strength. Wow. Wow. Goodness gracious. Group 3, you guys had to be really strong as a child. It's almost like your childhood was robbed from you. I really feel strongly that this group had to really step up to the plate here in some capacity. I feel like there was something here, you guys, whatever that destroyer energy is too. It's like you experienced something in your childhood that was quite destructive. You experienced a hostile environment. Arguments, fights, power trips. There is some sadness here, you guys. Something that really broke your heart. And again, the mind is coming through here. Once again, with this woman holding a book. And so I feel like with this group, you guys really had to turn elsewhere in order to find peace and solitude in your environment. You had to grow up so fast. That's just what I feel. I see a lot of you as a child had a dream or a desire to go to a big university, and you took all the steps as a child to make sure you could get there, you know? So I feel like grades were important to this group. How you did in school, I feel like was important to you. So I see a lot of books and writing, so there could be a lot of writers in this group, a lot of writers and readers, scholars, just really smart people in this group. And you had to do it yourself. Like, you had to discover life kind of on your own. So that's what I see here in your childhood, you guys. Yes, there was something here that brought about a lot of chaos and conflict. But you were also loved. Whoever was supposed to parent you was maybe gone a lot. But not because they didn't love you, because they needed to. That's what it feels like. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do some healing. Yeah, let's do some healing, group 3. So healing time, group 3. What does group 3 need to do at this time to heal from the past? Let's take a look here and see. Group 3. Wow. All right. I'm going to shuffle some more. We'll read this one in a second. Anything else here? Group 3. All right, there we go. Thank you. So, something that you can work on, group 3, is your defensiveness. It says defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So you guys are getting this message because you had to be defensive as a child. You had to defend yourself because who else was there to defend you? Who else was there to really take care of you? Who was there to really nurture you and give you what you needed as a child? Nobody. You had to do it yourself. You had to nurture yourself. You had to take care of yourself. Some of you had to provide for yourself financially. And so you have a big shield up because of your childhood, because of what you experienced as a child. And you're being asked to let that go. You're being asked to drop the shield, group 3. Drop the shield. Allow people into your life. Allow love to flow to you. Allow yourself to give love and receive love. Allow yourself to hear someone else's perspective, even if it differs from yours. Something else that Spirit wants you to work on is denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So group 3, some of you may be in denial regarding a person in your life, regarding a situation in your life. There's something here that you know what it is, but you just refuse to accept it. So denial is all about a refusal of acceptance for the truth that you already feel, you already see, and you already know. So either accept this person for who they are or not. Either accept the situation for what it is or not. The choice is yours, but you have to remove the blindfold. You have to understand that you see very clearly what the situation is, and then you can make your decision after you accept it for what it is first. Something else Spirit wants you to do. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Wow. Group 3. I feel that for a lot of you in this group, there was something here that you wanted to achieve, even as a child. And you perhaps started taking steps for this even as a child. But then somewhere along the way, you maybe lost hope, you maybe lost faith, maybe just life became way too difficult and you gave up on something. Maybe you started changing the way that you see yourself, group 3, and you started seeing the worst in you. But right now you're being asked to surrender all of that stuff. All of those beliefs about yourself that are negative. All of those beliefs about yourself that are holding you back from continuing to take these steps in your life. You got to let it go. Something else that you can do is surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. So some of you may be in a relationship that is not good for you. You know, if the love is not real, if you're not being treated the way that you deserve to be treated, then let it go. Because some of you have a tendency to hold on to things just because you want to be in control, because you probably don't like change, group 3, because as a child, you experienced a lot of change. There was this lack of stability. And so even in your adult life, you don't want things to change because that means chaos to you, even though that is really not what it means. But in your mind, it represents chaos. It represents instability. It represents the unknown, fear. like just the thought of change for this group, I feel like gives you a headache. You know what I mean? It's stressful. So a lot of you in this group would rather stay in a situation that doesn't serve you because it's comfortable, rather than leave because then it's uncomfortable. So those were those messages. And we're going to do one deep healing now. Let's take a look here and see what part of your soul needs to be healed at this time. Part of your soul needs to be healed at this time. Group 3. Okay. What needs healing in Group 3's life at this time? What needs healing in Group 3's life at this time? Thank you. Ooh. Selling out. I've never seen this card. Let's take a look here at the message. I'm going to read for you what the healing is here. Oh, that's the first one. Wow. Okay, Group 3, are you ready? Selling out. Your integrity and inner strength are being severely tested. You have an opportunity to act with either fear or love. Where in your life are you selling out or acting out of integrity? Are you in a job you hate? Are you living in a toxic environment and making yourself sick in the pursuit of financial security? This card asks you to find the courage to stand up for your convictions and take steps towards doing what you love. Take steps towards doing what you love. Wow. Selling out is linked to the shadow aspect of the prostitute. Oh my goodness. You gotta love spirit. I'm going to read that again. Selling out is linked to the shadow aspect of the prostitute. When you connect to this archetype, you can examine your fears around survival, power, responsibility, and success. On the light side, the prostitute can lead you to freedom, self-expression, choice, and love. Ooh, this is you, Group 3. You are the prostitute. At times, you are the light attribute of the prostitute, which accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. At other times, Group 3, you may operate in the shadow attribute of the prostitute, which places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. So really, this is quite interesting, you guys. You really want to ask yourself, you know, in which light are you operating in with this prostitute archetype? Because this is a very strong archetype in your life. And some of you may have learned this behavior from your mother or your father. Others of you learned this behavior because you had to, because of your mother or your father. So it all goes back to the childhood, you guys. Everything in this now as adults, we carry so much from our childhood, and it's just so amazing to see how it affects us even today. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to continue this message. So here's an action that you can take, Group 3. You have to make a choice about whether you will use your power, talents, and abilities for selfishness and exploitation or the higher good. Take a few deep breaths and focus on your body. Become conscious of where in your body you feel like you are losing energy and your power. Place your hands on that part of your body. Visualize your prostitute archetype. So visualize your prostitute archetype. It can look similar to this card or a darker version of you. Ask this archetype to show you where in your life you are selling out. Become aware of how this affects various areas of your life and your physical and emotional health. Ask your prostitute aspect to help you regain your inner strength and make empowering decisions. Yeah, ask your prostitute aspect to help you regain your inner strength and make empowering decisions. Oy, oy, oy. That was deep, you guys. So that message is very clear for my beautiful group 3. I love you so much. You are so strong, group 3. I can see it. I can see why you are the way that you are. And always remember who you are. Always remember what you're worthy of. Remember that you're worthy of the Most High in all aspects of your life. Career, finances, relationships, spiritual. You deserve your seat on this throne. By nature, simply by nature. You deserve that. I love you guys. Yeah, if this reading resonated with you, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help my channel to grow. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. I do post new pick a card readings every single week and new energetic zodiac readings every single month. Also, if you've ever wanted a personal or private reading, you guys, feel free to book with me. You can go to my website, www.girltalktarot.com. I have a whole bunch of different readings that I offer. Take a look. If you find one that captivates you, go ahead and click on it, and you can order directly on the page. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope it's been worth your time, you guys. And man, I just love you so much. Be blessed going forward. Remember this message here. Really try to do the healing work here, you guys. This message called out to you for a reason. So really try to investigate this for yourself. And I feel like it'll be really beneficial in your life, and it will remove any blocks in your life. And you'll be able to just continue moving forward in your life and to pursue what you've always wanted to pursue. Even if it has changed over the years, just to pursue, to continue taking steps and to not get stuck in a place of stagnancy because of a lack of belief in yourself. So I feel that very strongly for you guys. Release this fear of change, group 3. Release this fear of change. Be open to change. Be open to new beginnings. Be open to death. And watch what you'll find. I feel like you guys will find something really, really, really beautiful, actually. I love you. Be blessed. And I'll talk to you in a different video. Deuces. Hi, group 4. Welcome to your reading. So you guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. Don't want to waste your time. You're here for a very specific reason, and that's to take a deep dive into your childhood. And the reason we're doing this, you guys, is not just so that you can reflect on your childhood, but so that we can actually take something away from this reading. How is your childhood currently affecting your adult life today? So it will be worth your time, okay? So go ahead and sit back, relax, and let's take a deep dive into your childhood. Also, keep in mind, you guys, this is a general reading, so not everything I say will be your situation. Just take the pieces that resonate and leave behind anything else that doesn't. So let's dive in, you guys. Take a look here at what we see. We have the coffin. We have a false person. Thoughts. The mask. Wow. And the bear, the polar bear. All right. So, wow. Group 4. What's jumping out at me right away is the energy of this mask and this falseness. So I feel like there was someone here in your life as a child whom you didn't feel you could trust. This person was one way in public and a different way in private. Unfortunately, I see that for some of you, you were not protected as a child. There could have been someone here who took advantage of you as a child, who took advantage of your innocence. This feels a little bit heavy, group 4. Some of you experienced a very painful and significant death as a child. This could be anybody here, you guys. But there was someone who was put to rest here that really significant. What am I trying to say? This person was really significant in your life. And when this person was laid to rest, it was a really significant change in your life. We have unsure coming through. Confusion. Creation. Gossip. And facade. Oh my goodness. Wow. Group 4, some of you in this group dealt with something very traumatic in your childhood. Something that took away the life of a parent of yours, whether it was your mother or your father. And there was just like something here that wasn't what it seemed to be. I feel like a lot of things were done in private or in the dark with this group as it pertains to your family matters. This could have even been something that was public, something that eventually came out to the public, and there was a lot of talk about this situation. As a child, I just see you having to experience a lot of pain. I see that some of you were unfortunately molested by someone who was supposed to take care of you. It just feels like there is someone here who took advantage of you, group 4. You guys, this is not for everybody here. I'm speaking to those who it is for. Simple as that. But whatever this situation was that happened in your life, group 4, it brought about a lot of confusion as you were getting older. There were a lot of uncertainties that you had about yourself. Trying to make sense of the situation, trying to make sense. Like, why did this happen? Yeah, it's like there was somebody here in your life who was not who they portrayed themselves to be. That's just showing up here very, 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 very strongly. Some of you, group 4, had to wear a mask in your childhood, and you had to grow up wearing this mask, being one way in front of your parents and your family and another way in front of others. So there's a very interesting dynamic coming through. We also have the 3 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the 6 of Swords, I'm getting a really strong sense of distance, traveling, relocation. So some of you may have experienced a major move in your life, perhaps to a different city, state, or country even. I feel like for some of you, you perhaps constantly needed to move. And for others of you, there could have been one really big, significant move. I'm hearing hiding right now. Hiding was a very essential part of your life as a child. There were things that you needed to hide. For some of you, there were aspects of yourself that you needed to hide. And for others of you, there were secrets and things that happened that you needed to hide. It's like you were being told to be quiet about something. I'm just seeing a big shh. We have the Empress. So your mother is very significant to you. Group 4. For some of you, your mother was the one who passed away. And when that happened, you lost your protector. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a strong mother figure here. Yeah, the 9 of Wands. But she didn't protect me. I'm hearing, but she didn't protect me. So some of you guys, you feel really let down by your mother because you feel like your mother didn't, really do what she needed to do for you as a child and for this situation. I see you guys wanting to move. So some of you couldn't move, yet you had this desire to move, to get away, because where you lived, like your environment, wasn't a safe place for you. We have the 2 of Cups and the 7 of Swords reversed. So this is some really underhanded behavior, you guys. Like somebody here did some really shady, shisty business. Not sure who this person is. It will be different for all of you. But there's someone here who lied, who cheated, who stole, who was a criminal, who did something that they weren't supposed to do and tried to get away with it. And for some of you, this person did get away with it. For others of you, this could be the person who in fact died. We have the 2 of Cups here on top of the Empress. So I do feel like you guys were really close with your mother, but it feels like there was an outsider here who came in and kind of just screwed everything up. We have the Moneymaker. Gossip again. What? Apples to oranges. And the holidays. Who do you see around the holidays? You see your cousins, you see your aunties, your uncles. You see like your extended family. So I feel like for some of you, there could have been an extended family member here who played a role in this scheme. For some of you, this scheme was a financial scheme. There could have been a financial motivation here. Some of you as a child, perhaps you dealt with theft. Perhaps you were a thief, group 4, because you really wanted some money. There's a lot of talk. What is this talk here, you guys? It's like you're the talk of the town, or your family is the talk of the town. Like that, like there's a scandal. I feel like there is a significant scandal here with this group. Either coming from you, coming from your mother, coming from your step parent, or coming from, man, this could be anybody, somebody here in your family, you guys. For some of you, something significant maybe happened on a holiday, perhaps Christmas, your birthday, some significant day, like a milestone kind of a day that that something happened here. I don't know. Some of you may have lost your parent on a holiday or a very specific or important day to you. Apples to oranges. This is the energy of comparing. It's also just the energy of going back and forth like this. You know what I mean? Apples, oranges, which is the same energy here as this uncertainty. So there could have been confusion as to who this false person is. There's clearly a snake in your home as a child. There was somebody here who you were around who was a snake. This person was not a good person. So I'm just getting this feeling like you feel like there was this person in your life. You didn't like this person. You couldn't trust this person. This person was not who they portrayed themselves to be. And it's like this sense of a lack of protection from this person. And there's this feeling of being let down. For some of you, this could have been your mother's husband. Or for some of you, it could be your father's wife. But the Empress is coming through here, so that's a very feminine energy. We have a priest coming through. We're taking a look at the archetypes in your life now. So, oh my God. We have the hedonist. We have a detective. We have the servant. We have a bully, a vampire, and an angel. But I feel like this is interesting because it did come out in its shadow, which is someone who pretends to be innocent, pretends to be an angel, when in fact they're really this, you know, look, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Same here with this priest. So some of you were taken advantage of by an actual priest, you know. Some of you may have had someone who was very religious, someone who claimed to be in touch with God, but this person was the devil. And this person was a bully, group 4. This person was mean. This person was a manipulator, and they used dominance, power, and control to scare you. We have a vampire showing up here. And the vampire is someone who takes away the life force. So some of you may not have even experienced an actual or literal death, but you could have experienced It's almost like seeing someone die without them actually dying, but their soul was being depleted from them, from this vampire, this bully here, this false person. This was not a good person in your childhood here. We have the hedonist showing up here. Indulges at the expense of others. There's a detective. And I feel like for some of you, there was an actual detective involved. Like for some of you, this was a real deal scandal. And there could have literally been a detective involved in this situation. But there's just a whole lot of lies, a whole lot of falseness. And there was a need to get down to the truth. Like, what is the truth here? There's a whole lot of talk about it. Everybody's gossiping about it. But nobody's really saying anything. It's just a bunch of lies being spread. A lot of secrets. It's like the house of lies, the house of secrets. Oh man. Let's continue. Blame. Wow. I'm so sorry, group 4, that you had to go through whatever this traumatic experience was in your life. This plays out differently for all of you, but the energy is still the same. You had to deal with someone here who didn't really love you. You had to deal with someone here who didn't have your best interest at heart. You had to deal with someone here who used you, abused you, lied to you, manipulated you, cheated on you, stole from you. There's just so much of this gunk here. And so blame. Who is to blame? Whose fault is it? Some of you, I'm so sorry, you felt like you were bullied as a child. Just bullied. We have nourishment. But it's like, where was your nourishment? The Empress offers nourishment. But for a lot of you, I feel like you weren't well nourished. Some of you were. For some of you, that was the only highlight in your life. Maybe there's like a really close bond here with your mother. And that could be the only, this relationship that you had with your mother may have been the only good thing, the only thing that went right in your life. And it's like everything else around was just catastrophic. We have anxiety and blossoming abundance. So a lot of you guys were dealing with a financial issue, something about money. Like there could have been a financial scandal in your household as a child. But yeah, I just see you being very anxious, very worried, very scared, very sad. Because of all of this that you had to go through. So, my beautiful group 4, we need to do some healing. So we're going to see. We have servants showing up here, and I just feel like that's important to talk about as well for this group. This showed up as an archetype in your life. So who was the servant? Were you a servant, group 4? Were you the one always trying to please everybody, always trying to do whatever you can do to make others happy, to serve their needs? Or was there someone serving you? Oh my God. Okay, so it's all good, you guys. That's the past. I went there with you. I went there with you, and my heart just goes out to you guys because you were only a child. So let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know at this time. What needs to be let go of at this time? Spirit, please come through here for group 4. What needs to be let go of at this time for my group 4? Anything else here? Oh, jeez. All right, thank you. So we have, let's take a look. We have surrender defensiveness, group 4. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So, yeah, I get it. You're defensive. Of course you're defensive. Look at your childhood. You had to be defensive. You had to learn how to defend yourself because a lot of you in this group, you didn't have that protection that you needed. So you kind of had to learn how to protect yourself, defend yourself. And you've carried that trauma from your childhood into your adulthood. And you may see that play out in your relationships, in your life. You know, you may be really defensive, group 4. You may wear this really tough armor and you don't let people in. You don't feel you're worthy of true love. You're not just giving yourself a chance to receive true love because you're so hard. You've been bullied. You've been silenced. You've been abused. You've been used. You've been lied to. You've been through a lot, group 4. So right now you're being asked to surrender this shield, surrender this defensiveness in your life. You're also being asked to surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So there could be something for you guys in this group that you want to pursue. It could be a creative project or aspiration here, something that really lights you up and gets your sacral chakra just fully activated, and this is something you really want to do, and you're being asked to do it. Just do it. Let your creative juices flow. Let your inner child glow. Give your inner child permission to be a child, even now in your adult years. Like, you're literally being asked to connect to your inner child. This innocence. Ooh. Surrender resentments, group 4. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. Wow. So right now is a time to forgive, group 4. As hard as it is, it's a time to face this bully, whoever this bully was in your life, whoever it was that did you wrong. Let's go back to your childhood. Think about this person and just hold a space in your heart. Just hold a space in your heart for forgiveness. That's it. Just hold the space in your heart. Open up a little piece in your heart, group 4, to hold that space. You're also being advised to surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. So be happy, group 4. If there's someone or something in your life that causes for a celebration or for just good times, let it be. Let go of your guard and allow yourself to feel joy. It's okay. Yes. Surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. So let go. Don't take life so seriously right now. You're being asked to just have more fun. Do something that you like to do. Do something that makes you laugh. Do something that brings out the silly side of you. You're really being asked to go back to the innocence of being a child. And I know it's hard for you because some of you have no idea what that even feels like. And finally, surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So this is just a message to let you know that everything that you've gone through in your past is exactly what you were supposed to go through. You're just being asked to let go of what happened in the past. Embrace the lessons that you were learning in the past. And continue to move forward. And to allow your soul to light the way for your new path, group 4. I do see a very positive beginning in store here for you. So, we're going to do one more bit of healing, something for your soul. For my group 4, let's do a little bit more healing. For my group 4. Okay. What needs to be healed here for my group 4? Whoa. Oy, oy, oy. All right. Okay, let's do it. You guys pulled 4 cards. You're the only group to pull so many. But let's talk about it. So we have selling out. Whew. All right, let's get to your message. Lovely. Let's get to your message. Are you ready? Selling out. Your integrity and inner strength are being severely tested. You have an opportunity to act with either fear or love. Where in your life are you selling out or acting out of integrity? Are you in a job that you hate? Are you living in a toxic environment and making yourself sick in the pursuit of financial security? This card asks you to find the courage to stand up for your convictions and to take steps towards doing what you love, towards being who you love. Selling out is linked to the shadow aspect of the prostitute archetype. When you connect to this archetype, you can examine your fears around survival, power, responsibility, and success. On the light side, the prostitute can lead you to freedom, self-expression, choice, and love. Some of you in this group, if you have the time, you may want to check out Group 3's video as well. So here's an action that you can take, Group 4. You have to make a choice about whether you will use your power, talents, and abilities for selfishness and exploitation or the higher good. Take a few deep breaths and focus on your body. Become conscious of where in your body you feel like you are losing your energy and your power. Place your hands on that part of your body. Visualize your prostitute archetype. It can look similar to this card or a darker version of you. Ask this archetype to show you where in your life you are selling out. Become aware of how this affects various areas of your life and your physical and emotional health. Ask your prostitute aspect to help you regain your inner strength and make empowering decisions. So, where are you selling out in your life, group 4? What are you not being honest about? Your next message is letting go. Ooh, that's that resentment that we saw. So this is a very strong message for you, group 4. Letting go. Let's read your message. Letting go. The situation has served its purpose. You are being challenged to change your point of view and recognize that this particular relationship has run its course. Although you might be afraid to let go, the universe has a new opportunity for you, which will allow you to experience the kind of passion and satisfaction you have always dreamed of. Saying goodbye is never easy and can make you feel like you are a failure. You must not allow yourself to be persuaded by other people or by your own doubts to keep holding on. Focus on opening your heart to a new opportunity. Leave the baggage of past mistakes behind you. It's important that during the letting go process, you are gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to have alone time. Write, meditate, paint, sing, dance. Do whatever you can to heal and let go of the pain that is holding you back. Recognize that your spirit is beckoning you to grow. So you're really being asked to let go. Mainly letting go of what happened here in the past. For some of you, this may serve a dual message or purpose, and there may be someone or something that you need to let go right now, like in your current day-to-day life. So group 4, here's an action that you can take. When you feel stuck in a point of view, you can ask yourself, is this my belief or someone else's? How does it serve me? Am I willing to let go of my fears and unfounded limitations? Say, quote, Divine Healing Intelligence, please assist me to let go of this situation. State what it is, the habit, whatever it is. Say their name. And then inspire me to move forward with freedom, lightness, and a feeling of completion. Bring into my reality new and empowering experiences, people, and opportunities. Thank you. Repeat the word clear several times. So that was your healing treatment to let go. You also have the message of family and tribe. Ooh la la. So there's a big family healing that's necessary for you guys. Jeez. Family and tribe. Be very discerning with other people's opinions. Become aware of how the beliefs of your family and tribe are influencing you. What did you learn about relationships, money, and opportunities when you were younger? Ask yourself, am I still carrying some of those outdated beliefs? Am I trying to seek love and approval from my family by doing what they want me to do? An important question to ask yourself is whether you are living your life in order to make someone else or yourself happy. Ooh. I felt that, you guys. You know why I felt that? Because we saw the archetype of the servant here. It's like being a slave to your family's expectations or to society's expectations of you. This card, group 4, asks you to examine your loyalties, family beliefs, superstitions, and rituals that have power over you. Let go of anything that is not serving you. You are also being asked to face your fears of being different and embrace your uniqueness even if others don't understand or approve of your actions. Often working with your energy centers, in particular the root chakra, can help you release past limitations and hurts, increase your confidence, and help you manifest your desires into the physical reality. That's amazing, you guys. So what you're being asked to do is recognize beliefs that you've adopted from other people. Play some tribal music. Imagine that other people's limiting beliefs are like chains that stop you from moving forward. Stamp your feet and focus on recognizing each belief pattern or experience and then imagine letting them go. You can even visualize throwing all the chains into a purple flame, which dissolves them. Then give yourself permission to move forward and put all of your energy on a daily basis into how you would love to live your life. So burn down the hurt and pain from the past, the expectations. Ooh. And then you have Phoenix rising. What is this about? This is about a new you emerging, group 4. Phoenix rising. Everything in your life is falling apart in order for you to rise from the ashes with renewed strength. This is not a time to create, but a time to sweep away everything that has not worked in your life. The reason so many things are breaking down and not going your way is because the old cycle of your life is completing. You may feel that you are walking through the fires of life right now in order to be cleansed and purified for your rebirth. Soon you will not recognize yourself. You are reclaiming your spirit. If possible, try to isolate yourself from the chaos surrounding you. Now is the time for you to feel any pain that you have previously suppressed so that you can heal. The universe has plans and opportunities that are better than you can imagine, so let go and trust and anticipate what is coming. Wow. So here's an action that you can take, group 4. Write down on a piece of paper what you are afraid to let go of. Number your fears from the worst thing that could happen to the smaller fears. Then write down what could be a possible gift of facing that fear. Place your hands on the part of your body where you feel the most fear. Say to yourself out loud, I'm willing to let this fear go. Imagine being able to take the sensation of fear out of your body and into the palms of your hands. Visualize that the fear becomes a bird. Surrender the bird to a higher source and visualize it flying away. Repeat the word surrender several times. Wow, so group 4, you're completely transforming yourself right now. Completely transforming yourself. Shed the old skin. Let go of all this craziness that happened in your past and allow this new beginning to unfold. I love you. I thank you for spending this time with me. I really hope that you take heed to these healing messages here. They showed up for a reason. So don't be a sellout. Love you guys. If this video resonated with you, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help my channel to grow. And if you guys are new here, consider subscribing. I post new pick a card readings every single week and new energetic zodiac readings every month. Also, if you've ever wanted a private reading, you guys, you can go to my website, www.girltalktarot.com, and you'll see a list of all of my services. You can actually book directly on the site. And yeah, I'll hook you up with a reading. So I love you guys lots. Be blessed. Do your healing work, you guys, please. And I'll talk to you in a different video. Ciao.